I am live and I am back. Yay! Okay, y'all know how we do it over here. Let's go to our 30-second countdown and then I'll be back with the intro. All right, you guys, I am so excited to be back. I know it has been a minute, and I know a lot of you have said, where in the world has Dr. Sherry gone? Well, I'm back, and I'm back with some new information. Okay, all right. So we did our countdown. It has been forever, and I'm still here trying to remind everybody that I am back. Listen, you all, let me type this last little text. Okay, you all caught me. I didn't expect for that. I didn't expect for that intro to end so soon. All right, we just finished. All right, you guys, I am so excited to be back. I am so excited to be back, and I am so excited to share with you why I was gone. Okay, I've been gone for a minute and I am back now because I had to handle some things. And so, as you can see, today's topic, and I believe I put it in there, it said the private life show. And a lot of you are trying to figure out, what is the private life? What is this all about? I promise you, I'm about to blow your mind. Okay, I promise you that everything that you have heard in your life or experienced in your life, it's not how you uh, have been taught to believe that it really is. It's much different. Okay, so before I get started, as you can see, the little ticker is down there at the bottom. I always go the wrong direction with it. It's this way. All right. So if you hear something that really just, gets to your mind and you be like, I didn't know that, or something just really shocks you, go ahead and give me a little donation right down. Okay. I told you I always do it wrong. Down there. Okay. Right down there. All right. So, all jokes aside, I had to step away for several months because I had to get life in order. Okay. And getting life in order, it really took some serious transitioning. So when we talk about the private life, many of you have no idea what I'm talking about. You are clueless to what the private life is. Okay. So I will tell you that if you look on a dollar bill, right? If you look on a dollar bill, in fact, I have one because I want to make sure I pull mine up in my pictures. Okay. But if you look on a dollar bill, it actually says a few words right at the top. Okay. So let me pull mine up because I want to make sure that I am reading it specifically how it is written. I don't want to miss not one word. Okay. So at the top it says of a dollar bill, if you pull out a dollar bill, $5 bill, $10, it doesn't matter. Okay. Right at the top it says this note is legal tender for debts in the public and the private. Okay. This note is legal tender to be used for all debts in the public and the private. And so you got to ask yourself, on a dollar bill, what are they talking about? What are they talking about that this Federal Reserve note, okay, we'll get into that probably in another time. It's not enough time to even talk about that right now. But why would they have on a dollar bill that this legal tender could be used for debts in the public and the private. Okay. So this is where you got to begin to understand. Even on the dollar bill, it tells you there's two separate places. There's a public space and there's a private space. But you don't learn anything about the private space because you live in the public space. You've been trained to live in the public space. And so when I went away for several months, okay, I was transitioning my life into the private space, okay? And so that's why every Friday at 12 noon, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you because it's so important that you begin to understand this. What is the private life? What takes place in the private life? And I'm just going to put this out here right now so I can make sure that I keep your attention for the next 30 minutes, okay? In the private life, we don't pay taxes. In the private life, we don't pay bills. We don't pay debts. In the private life, we have no interference whatsoever in our lives. We self-govern it. Now, stop right there. When I say self-govern, I know some of you right in your mind said, oh, it's one of these sovereign citizens. No, it has nothing to do with a sovereign citizen. And that is actually a derogatory term. When you see people talking about sovereign citizens, it's something that we call an oxymoron. An oxymoron is something that's totally the opposite. Okay? You can't be sovereign and you can't be a citizen at the same time because a sovereign is someone who is free. Okay? Sovereign is who in the Bible, okay, it states when you're sovereign, you are free. You are given your unalienable rights that are given from the Most High. Now, I'm not going to get into the Bible thing, okay, because some people say that the Bible's not real and all of that. And, some people don't go by it and some people do. What I'm going to begin to teach you is that the Bible is actually a resource. It's a resource. Okay. And it's not, even the Bible is not what you have been trained to think it is. The Bible teaches us all about trust law. And so if you know just a little bit about trust, the Bible is exemplary for understanding trust and how trust law should be carried out. But I can't get into that right now because I don't want to move you too fast. Okay, I don't want to move you too fast. Today, we're going to talk specifically about the public space and the private space. So let me see. We got some questions here. Cash, hey, what? I didn't know that. Yes. So if you'll pull out your money, you'll see right at the top, that little writing at the top. And it says it's to be used for debts in the public and the private. But they never teach you about the private. You only know about the public. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. We are not, no such thing as sovereign citizens. So when you see that term, it's the de facto trying to scare you, try to brainwash you as usual, because there's no such thing. You can't be a free person and you can't, don't even use the word person. I can't even get into that. You cannot be free, okay, with your unalienable rights, and you cannot be a citizen. And a citizen is what's called a slave, okay? So on the money, it already tells you there's a public and a private space. So let's talk about what takes place in this private space. Dr. Sherry, how do you get to the point that you don't have to pay taxes? Let's just stick with just that right there. Let's just stick with that point, because many of you don't know taxes are voluntary. And if it wasn't voluntary, they wouldn't even have a form for you to fill out to be able to come out of that system. All right. Again, it's all about being private, understanding how to self-govern by yourself. And so when we talk about the legal tender making note of this public and this private space, there's a transition that has to take place out of the public into the private. Okay. So it starts when we are children. It starts when we're really, really, really young. It even starts when, do you remember when you were in school and you had to put your name on the paper? Do you remember that? You remember how the teacher would teach you how to head your paper Who remembers that? Okay. So I want you to tell me, okay, what side would they tell you to put your name on? Can somebody put that in chat in the chat for me? Hey, D. Smith from our community. All right. All right, we're going to talk about some different things here. All right, so remember when you were in school, what side would they tell you to put your name on? Okay, L said on the left. Okay, and you would put the date on the right, correct? Thank you, L, for stating that. They were brainwashing you back then. Now, when you fill out when you sign something on a contract, okay, I want you always to remember that debtors, okay, sign on the left and creditors sign on the right. So they were brainwashing us. They were brainwashing us to always put ourselves in a space of a debtor. Okay? Always, always, always put your mind in a space of being a debtor. Now, this is where it's going to blow your mind. Yeah, left and then date on the right. That's right. Okay? Now, this is where it's going to really blow your mind. If you think about any contract that you have signed, any contract, just think about any contract. I don't care what it is, for a house, a car, apartment, whatever, a credit card, it doesn't matter. Who knows what side that you sign on? Who remembers what side of the paper that you sign on? Just think about any contract that you have signed. Let me see if somebody's going to put it in there. Any contract that you have signed, think about what side of the paper that you signed the contract on. You actually don't sign on the left. You sign on the right. And you pull out any contract that you have. You're going to see that you signed that contract on the right hand side. And I'm going to tell you why. Let's stop right here. Okay, let's pause. Okay. And I want you to understand why they have you sign the contract on the right. Remember now, you're trained in your mind for the debtor space on the left, but you sign on the right because you become something called a creditor. Now, let me slow it all the way down. Let me slow it all the way down for you. Let me bring it all the way down. I told you that this is called the private life, right? And it's a lot that takes place in the private life that you are not aware of. There's a lot. Because you are born with something called unalienable rights that you never, ever, ever are taught. You're taught to think that you are a debtor. And they start this as soon as you hit grade school and really as soon as you come out of your mother's womb. Can't get into all of that, but I'm going to give you some information at the end where you can continue to learn about this, okay? Right now, I'm only going to do these every Friday at 12 because I can only give you guys small chunks at a time. If I give you more than that, your head is going to explode. Okay, so we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. So let's go back to when you sign a contract. Getting a house, getting a car, credit card, loan, it doesn't matter. You sign on the right-hand side because you are in the place of a creditor. Now, a creditor, and I teach this too, any word that ends in OR is considered what? And those that are in my school, you know what that is. Any word that ends in OR is considered what? Put it in chat because I've taught you guys this. Any word that ends in OR is considered the what? Who remembers? Yes, L. That's right. Small bites. That's right. There you go. Hey, Renee. The giver. The giver. The giver. Okay. Anything like the grantor is the one that grants. That's right. But any word that ends in OR is the giver. Okay. So remember that. Now, If you are the creditor, creditor, you are the giver of the credit. Oh boy, are y'all get ding 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 ding? Is it happening now? So now let's bring it back. Let's bring it all the way back. When you're in grade school, they teach you to sign your name on the left-hand side as the debtor, the one with the debt, the giver of the debt, right? But on a credit application, whatever you're purchasing, you're on the right-hand side as the creditor, the giver of the credit. So now let's just drive it home. If I'm getting a car and I sign on the right-hand side, I have given my credit to that car dealership, that car loan company, whoever, to take monies out of my account that I am born with. Yes, I said it. You're born with an account that you know nothing about. We'll get into that a little later. Small bites, small bites, small bites. Okay. Small bites, small bites, small bites. Okay, small bites. What is Cash saying? I'm filling out my name right now. You giving them too much, Cash. You are giving them too much. We're giving them too much. We're giving them too much. Small bites. Because some people are in my community, they're just seeing me for the first time, or they haven't seen me for months. Okay, you guys, some of y'all haven't seen me for months, and I'm coming back. So you are the giver of the credit. You're thinking they're giving credit to you. And you have to remember, in the world that they have trained our minds, everything is flipped from what you thought it was. Everything is flipped. Everything is flipped. Milk before the meat. You got that right. Yes. That's right, Cash. That's right. See, Cash is in my school community, so no, they know what's going on in there. All right. You're the creditor. You're the giver of the credit. So let me just give you what the scheme is. The scheme is that you have an account that you are born with called a Sesta KV account. If you've done any research or anything on TikTok, watch anything on TikTok or Instagram or what have you, this is not a secret now. Everybody knows that they have a Sesta KV trust. Okay. And if you look on the back of your Social Security card, there's a number that starts with a letter. Okay. And that letter is where supposedly this trust is. Now, I haven't validated that. I don't have any information to prove that. You can only go on what you're reading. But in my mind, it kind of makes sense because we know there's 12 Federal Reserve banks around the nation. Okay. And each one is assigned a letter. So you are identified with that bank for some reason. Okay. That's clear. All right. And so what is happening is that you are given all of this credit, okay? And every time you make a purchase, monies are coming from this account, supposedly, okay, and paying off everything for you. But you don't know this. So what happens is that they're getting paid, and then you're paying again. Now, I know this to be true, that I have gotten my debts paid. I have gotten my debts paid. Okay. And I haven't written a check to pay it. Okay. And this is to be true. And for those that have an apartment, if you go to your apartment lease, go to your apartment lease. In your apartment lease, it's going to act as if the natural man, the natural woman is a third person, and that the tenant is another person. So if you go, just read it, and it'll begin to, you'll be able to see that the natural man, the natural woman is signing for this tenant who is the person on the contract. Let me stop right there. Let me stop right there because that's going to take me down another road. I want to just stick with the public and the private. Okay. So in this private space, we understand at all times that we are the creditor. We know we are we know that we are the givers of our credit. Okay. We don't pay taxes. We don't pay bills because those things are covered for us. Now, what I want you guys to understand today is that everything links up. Okay, everything links up. When you're in the public, a public space is attached to what we call a United States citizen. Okay, and with the United States citizen, if you look in the Constitution, a United States citizen is actually considered a slave, a piece of property. This is not anything that's hidden. You can go read it right now for yourself. Okay, that's the one thing I will say about this system. They don't hide anything from you. And that's why it says now, when I'm telling you that the Bible is a resource, the Bible clearly tells us people perish for a lack of knowledge. People perish for a lack of knowledge. You see, I'm lagging. Am I back now? I'm back. Okay. People perish for a lack of knowledge. It doesn't say in Hosea 4:6 that people perish for lack of money. It doesn't say that. It doesn't even say people perish for being sick. It doesn't say that. People perish for a lack of knowledge, because if you have the right knowledge, you'll know how to cure yourself. If you have the right knowledge, you'll understand who you are, and you'll be in your right place with your unalienable rights that you were given. See, all of this is right there. In Genesis chapter 1, and I always quote this because I need for you to understand who you are. When you understand who you are, you know how to move. And now you can transition into the private space and begin to self-govern. It's so much that goes with this, you guys. Remember, we're taking baby steps today, because some of you guys are hearing this for the very first time. But Genesis 1:26-28 says that we have dominion over the land. In Genesis 1:26-28, it begins to list everything that was created, the birds, okay, the fowl of the land, the day, the night, all of this was created. And then it says, for man, I have made you to have dominion over the land. So if you have dominion over something, what does that mean? What does it mean to have dominion over something? If you have dominion over something, that means you run it. That means you are the leader of it, right? That means you govern it. That means you are the head and not the tail. So if I go back to Hosea 4:6, and it says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge, the knowledge is understanding how to run and be dominant over the land that was already given to me. Is this making sense? Put it in chat. I need to know where you guys are right now. Is this making sense what I'm saying? Because when you know who you are, you know how to operate. You are the head and not the tail. You are the creditor and not the debtor. But you have to learn how to move in this space, and it's a lot to go to it. The first thing is understanding that when you have a status of being a United States citizen, which is a piece of property, okay, which is a slave, you have to operate in that property or slave mentality, because you don't know any better. A piece of property cannot speak, right? A piece of property cannot stick up for themselves because they don't know any better. So that's why they tell you that if you go into court, that you're considered a ward of the court. That's why they put somebody in place to speak for you, which is called an esquire, an attorney, because you cannot speak for yourself. You are a ward of the court. You have not reached the age of majority. Do you know that you can be 80 years old, and if you have not declared yourself to have walked into or be in the age of majority, that they will still consider you a ward of the court? They will still consider you that. Okay. So what do you have to do? You have to declare who you are. You have to be in a space of understanding who you are. Okay. You have to understand that you have been given dominion over the land. You being a natural man and you being a natural woman. When you walk into that space of being and declaring that you're a natural man and a natural woman, okay, and you are not, okay, a corporation, which they have dictated you to be. We'll talk about that later. That's too much, okay? Right now, we're going to deal with the public space and the private space. We know that in the public space, we have United States citizenship. In the private space, we have a natural man and natural woman. But that space, that private space has to be declared. Okay? It has to be declared. So now what I want to do is I want to give you guys an opportunity to ask some questions. I'm going to drop the link to see if anybody, that's right, Philly, that's called the age of majority. Let me see if I can invite you guys on who wants to come up with me and talk on camera. Let me drop the link. Let me see, are y'all able to get it from there? I don't think you're able to. I have to email it to you. Yeah, you're not going to be able to get it from. Let me see. Can you? No, you can't. I would have to I would have to email it to you. Okay, so listen, y'all, next time y'all gonna have to come on here and join with me. Okay, I'm looking for a co-host too. All right, somebody I can run some stuff back to. But right now, do you guys have any questions? And I think I answered Felita's question when she was talking about the age of majority. The age of majority is actually a document. And Minnesota is the only state that actually has the document where you can sign the age of majority document, and now you can literally, from that standpoint, be declared the age that you are. It doesn't correct your status, but what it does, it just makes sure that it does state that you have declared that you are of age to handle your own affairs. Okay, that's what that form says. And it's okay if you get it from Minnesota. It can be used in any states, because one thing, for some information, it could be used in other states, and that's one form that is actually used for all 50 states. Okay. Do y'all have any questions for me? What time is it? Oh, I'm making good time. I was saying I only wanted to do 30 minutes. That's it, just 30 minutes. So for the last 3 minutes, while I'm waiting for you guys to type your questions, for those that have it, I want you to join me every night, every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I actually have a class that I do where I go a lot deeper, a lot deeper. Okay. So do you see it scrolling right there? I told you I always do this the wrong way. Do you see where it says link bio / I am Dr. Sherry? I want you to go there right now. Okay. And I want you to sign up, register for our class tonight. It's free. I know y'all like, how much it costs? It's free. Okay. Education is free. Education is free. All right, there it is right there. Let me see if it's gone. Let me see if I can put it up there. Okay, and you know what? Let me change that, because I don't want people to get confused, because that it could look like an I. Let me delete that one. I'm gonna put it up again. That's actually at lnk.bio / I am Dr. Sherry. Can I spell everything right? Y'all know I have to proofread. Let's see, I did have an error. I actually had 2 errors. Okay, I think I got it right now. Did I get it right? Okay, let me see if I can post it. There it is. lnk.bio front. See, I got another error. I knew it. Okay, y'all take that out. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. I got on glasses and I still can't see. Okay. Let me double check to make sure. Okay, did I get it right this time? Let's see. Link.bio / I am Dr. Sherry. Okay, there it is. All right. So go to there, go to that link, and then hit at the top where it says class. Okay, you'll see the class tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I promise you, after sitting in this class, your mind is going to be blown. Like, poof. Okay. So I give the class every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm telling you, invite, invite, invite. Come, come, come to the class. Learn, learn, learn who you are and begin to take dominion over your land and take dominion over who you are by what we call self-governance without any interference. Okay. Elle says, great class. You don't want to miss it. Oh, thank you, Elle. All right, you guys. Do we have any final questions? It's 12:30. I have done my 30 minutes and I have to get ready for class tonight. And I have a couple appointments and consultations that I have to have. If no further comments, if no further discussions or anything, I am going to end our stream. I have enjoyed being back. Oh my gosh, it has been months. All right. Every Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to take it in very small chunks, very small. And I'm going to talk about stuff on here that I don't talk about in my class. And I'm going to talk about stuff on here that I don't even share in the school. So you don't want to miss anything. Okay. All right, you guys. I love you so much. You're welcome, Cash. I'll see you in the school. All right, you guys. Until next time. Bye-bye.